Week number 7 of Memorizing Scriptures. This is Colossians chapter 3 verse 16 that says, "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs with thankfulness in your hearts to God." This passage is very, it gives me hope. Sorry, I have my throat, my voice, it sounds different. That we need to let the Word of God being inside of us, in our hearts, in our minds. Always remember the teachings, and also to share it with others as well in our friends group, or if you are meeting new people, or sometimes you're just gonna be asked about questions in Christianity. That's something that happens to me a lot. And it's very interesting because somehow God also allows that in the spirit the word's gonna come up and come out, and you're gonna share that. That's why in teaching, sharing, encouraging, and giving even exhortation, and it is yes, letting it be richly in you. And with richly, I can imagine something very abundant, something that is a lot. So in that sense, yeah, you need to allow God, you need to allow that the Spirit gives you that knowledge, I would say. Maybe it's a knowledge about something, yeah, because you are getting to know God through the Word of God, through the Bible. So that's one part of it. And the other part is being thankful, and with that state of mind, worshiping God and praising His glory, His mercy, His love. So we could be singing. That's something I really like, but now my voice is gone. I'm just recovering it now. But something that I really like to do, when I can sing, it is very motivating. It is fulfilling as well. It is satisfying when you can actually give that praise to God. Being thankful and living in joy as well. So that's something that I'm actually learning in these seasons, because anytime that things might not go on my way, but I can trust in God that it's gonna be in His way, and His ways are much higher, are better, are perfect. So it's trusting in Him. But one way to trust in Him is actually knowing Him. So in the Word of God, you can actually get to know Him better. It's the same. I remember one of the examples, like they give us like maybe a metaphor, that if you like someone in particular, one way to get to know that person is maybe if that person writes a diary, and you can actually read the diary, so you will know what the person thinks, what the person feels, or how that person perceives things in the world. And I would say that the Bible is the diary of God, maybe somehow, and that's the way that we can actually get to know Him better, what He thinks, what He feels, about us, about His creation, what He did to demonstrate His love to us. So yeah, I would say that's what gives me this passage. So I would encourage you to keep reading and to have your devotionals, to spend some time reflecting on His Word, and share it with others as well. Even in your own testimony, in your own experiences, you're gonna be around how God actually works in others as well. So that's very, very impressive. That's something that I've been experiencing lately. It's just God, and you need to let Him do the work in you. So yeah, that's my reflection on this passage. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.